And Carlton took on Fremantle last night, and the Freo Dockers have just ticked a lot of boxes this year, and that was another one. They travelled to a ground that I think you only won one of the last 10 at Etihad Stadium prior to last night, Freo, but they were terrific. Barlow with 4, Ballantyne and Crowley the goal kickers, and the possessions you can see, and the one on the second page there, the young boy Ibbotson. I'll be interested to see if he features in the votes. For the Blues, they are the Supercoach points. Eddie Betts, Russell Sandilands having another mighty season. As we welcome for the first time on the Sunday Footy Show, celebrating his 50th game, Garrick Ibbotson's been good enough to join us. Nice of you to come along. We don't get to see you too often in this part of the world. Where would you describe where you play on the ground for the Fremantle Dockers, Garrick?
I think you were spot on earlier. I think a utility is probably the best way to put it.
Thank you, Bill. So you play a bit down back. I think you played down back last night. You like to get in the middle and go forward.
He does a run with roll every now and then.
Yeah, I've played a little bit everywhere this year. Wherever halves want to put me, I'll go.
Garrick, sucking up to the host will get you nowhere. I just want to let you know that straight off. But well done last night. It was a great win for the club. I mean, really, yourself and Carlton, a loss there would have tipped you probably nearly out of the top 4 if Carlton did well. So a big win for the club.
Yeah, it was an important game for us, especially going into the break. We've lost our last 2 previous to that, and we thought it was an important thing to go into the break having a win, get our season back on track where we wanted to be, and the 2 previous games probably weren't acceptable as far as we're concerned for the season, and yeah, luckily for us we came out and we won.
Paul Hazelby's 200th game too. He's been a really, really good player, and we probably don't give him enough credit over here.
He has been a great player. He's one of those guys who probably hasn't been talked about as an outstanding athlete, but he's got a fantastic footy brain. He loves the footy club, and he really wears his heart on his sleeve, and I don't think I've seen a more excited man last night as I did with him.
You had 9 different goal kickers, so it's good. You're very unpredictable as you go forward. Everyone can chip in depending on the game.
This boy here, Garrick, I'm telling you right now, no Undy-Mundy. And Brownie, you need to get your head around him. He's an absolute gent.
He is a very good player, and he was good last night along with Garrick. Garrick was very good as well. But Carlton dominated early possession like we spoke about. But Fremantle, every time they went forward, they kicked goals, and their percentage, once inside 50, of goal conversion was fantastic. And you came back through the middle a fair bit last night. Every time you got the ball, you played on and took a chance and came back through the middle. Was that part of your game plan?
It was, yeah. We had a big focus during the week of using the corridor a little bit more. I think the last 2 weeks we got a little bit stuck into kicking the ball down the line, and it got us a bit caught moving forward. So playing through the corridor, I think, was the way we had to go last night, and it proved the way to go.
How impressive is this boy, Morabito? It's going to be an amazing draft, this one, I reckon, in 5 years' time to look back on. But this young man probably also flies under the radar a bit when all the talk about Martin and these sort of Trengoves and Scullys, but he is an amazingly talented young man.
He is. He's only young, he's 18, and he's about 92 kilos, so he's a massive kid, and I don't think he really realises it straight away, but when he gets to realise that he's one of the bigger guys already in the AFL at 18, he can really start to use his body weight and start throwing some people around.
Gary, we just saw Aaron Sandilands. Tell us, it must be a confidence lifter for the boys to have a big guy like that. He's a dominant force in the AFL, and last night he just put the ball from the tap-outs right in the way of all the mids all night long.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's a really important player for us, and I think guys like Hayden Ballantyne get a lot of confidence out of having a big guy around. That's why he gets under people's skin a little bit, knowing that the big guy's going to be there to back him up if he needs it. But yeah, he's been fantastic for us this year, and he's a great player.
You went in at half-time 22 points up, and you also had the extra number on the ground. Cruz has gone off, and you had the dominant big man on the ground. Was it discussed at half-time that you'd rotate more to try and run Carlton off their legs?
It was a little bit, yeah. I mean, it was lucky for us that Matthew Cruiser happened to go off real early in the game, so we had an extra rotation from the start. I think it always helps, especially with such a fast-flowing game now, that if you can have an extra person on the bench, your rotations really make a big difference.
Critical injury, Brownie. The one team you cannot afford to be a ruckman down against is Fremantle.
Certainly, and Aaron Sandilands dominated. He had a personal best of about 48 hit-outs last night, and he was fantastic. He went forward and kicked the goal, but the other guy that was impressive last night for you, played on Chris Judd, was Adam McPhee. He's been a little bit downtrodden this year. People have picked on him a fair bit, coming across from Essendon, but last night, Judd still had 30 touches, but his influence was negated by Adam McPhee, who played a good game. Yeah, I mean, he has been a little bit down this year, Adam, but I think one thing you can't doubt with him is his effort. He's always going to put in 100%, and playing on Judd is, I think, that something that he really wanted to do, and once he was told it was him, and he'd put a lot of work in, he spoke to Krause, he spoke to other taggers who have played him before, and I think he just wanted to go out there and give 100%, which he did. He niggled him, and he got into him a bit, and I think he did a good job. In this third quarter, the ruck dominance really came to the fore because Fremantle were 15 to 6 clearances up in this third quarter and set up a 33-point lead at one stage. And as we see here again, Michael Barlow just running into an open goal, butted up his own good work, and he's been just amazing this year. You couldn't expect him to have had a better year so far.
No, absolutely. I mean, he's 22 now, so he's been overlooked a couple of times for the AFL system, but I think now he's really starting to show people what he can do, and he's showing now that he deserves to be in the AFL system, and he doesn't really do a lot wrong, although he did lock his keys in his car at the airport on the way here and left his car running, so his car was on idle for 10 hours.
Assumption boys.
Left it running, yeah.
Boys, assumption boys, Jim. They're just they're not the full quid.
Yeah, no, that's unfair. So how did they get in?
He's just got a recent new car about a week ago, and he's got, you press a button to start it.
Oh.
So he's got out, locked the car, and left the car running, and someone rang up and said that his car's on at the airport.
What do they teach him at that school, Bill?
Footy.
And then in the last quarter, the Blues really came hard. Eddie Betts kicked 4 goals in the last quarter, and for once actually started to get to our Sandilands hit zone. The whole game, they just left our Sandilands hit zone free, and you blokes just took it away. But last quarter here, Eddie Betts, the Sharks it again, and it was almost as if Carlton could have snatched this game in the end. Were you feeling the pressure of Carlton coming at you?
Yeah, we did a lot. In the last quarter, they really did do everything they could to get back into the game, and I think really it was lucky for us at the start that they happened to be a little bit inaccurate. But to our credit, we held on and we ended up getting the win, and it was a big thing for us to win at Etihad Stadium, especially going into the break, like I said.
What about your big brother, West Coast? Are you feeling a bit sorry for them at the moment? They're struggling?
Big brother?
They're brothers,
stupid,
aren't they?
Shane. No, they hate each other.
Well, he'll tell us.
Yeah, well, no one really likes to be where they are at the moment, but we've spent a little bit of time there, so I'm really glad that it's them, not us. So, yeah, not really.
I don't think there's a lot of love lost, is the understanding. A bit like Adelaide and Port.
Silly question, Wayne.
Garrick, you've won 4 games on the road. What have we done differently there now? Because that's a great record.
I think we're really just trying to focus on the basic things of footy. We're really trying to put hard ball and contested ball thing really first, and pressuring the ball carrier as well as our forward pressure, I think.
The impressive thing we spoke about before was coming back through the middle. 22 of your 26 scoring shots through the corridor, whereas Carlton having all their shots from wide just makes it so much easier. If you take that chance, bite a bit more off, get it into the centre corridor, then you're having easier shots at goal.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, using the corridor is really important, and if you can make it work, it's a really important thing to win in a game, but on the flip side of that, if you happen to make a turnover, it really costs you. So it's a little bit risky, but yeah, we did it last night and we did it well, so I think it was okay.
You have a bit of a break now, so what do? You fly back to Perth, you get to have a holiday, do you have the week off? What happens?
I think the boys are at a clinic at the moment at Templestowe, so we'll do that, get that done.
Getting out of that's a gold, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice to turn up right at the end and then go straight to the plane. So
No, Nathan, it's great to deal with young footballers.
Certainly is.
To be, stars of the future. I want to ask you about Super Pav.
Oh, can I just answer the question first, Jim? Is that okay?
Yeah, yes,
So what are you going to do on your break?
I don't think I won't do much. I'll stay home, just mentally freshen up and physically freshen up, have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, and then back into training on Thursday.
Thanks, Jim. Now you can ask your question, please.
Pav, where would you, as a teammate of his, like to see him permanently placed? Because he seems to drift around the ground a little bit. Would you like to see him permanently forward, or when he slides into the middle, does that make you feel good as a teammate of his? Where does he belong?
I reckon he plays his best footy forward. It'd be handy to have 3 of him, so we could have 1 forward back in midfield. But, yeah, I think having him up forward is a big target for us, and I think it draws a couple of defenders to him. Gives a lot of our younger guys and our smaller guys a bit of a space to try and kick goals. And as you saw last night, I didn't kick any, but we still happened to get away with 9 different goal kickers.
Hey, impressive young man, Bill. Very well spoken. Gary Gippetson. Nice to have someone from Freo on the Sunday Footy Show. What do you votes, Bill? Brownie, and be very careful, of course, with our guest here.
Yes,
and then
as we go to the votes, and I thought that Michael Barlow was clearly the best man on the ground. He got a 9. Sandilands 8, Derek Ibbotson, he got a 7. And I thought young Silvani, he only had the 6 possessions, but his spoiling work and his aggression at the man, he hardly got beaten all night. I thought he was fantastic. Month ahead, Carlton got Brisbane, the Dogs, Sydney and West Coast. So not a bad run there. Fremantle got Port Adelaide, Richmond, Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs. So you'd think that Fremantle will maybe win 3 or 4 of those games there. Richmond will probably beat them, but I mean, you're charging towards top 4 and it must be a good feeling over there at Perth at the moment.
It is a good feeling, yeah, you're right. It's a good way to start our season, going into the break the way we have. Obviously, the job's not done yet, so we're going to try to go forward and improving, and, yeah, so there we go.
Well, Gary,
Good on
as
you.
I said, great to see you in here. Well done with the Fremantle Footy Club. I think everyone in footy's enjoying the way you're going, and keep it going.
Thank you.
Well